Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. It is December 1914. The Central Powers are at war with most of the rest of Europe and beyond. And I've got a couple tough decisions I need to make. And I'm rethinking one of the decisions that I made, which was to send some of my forces to the west. Honestly, after talking it over with a few of you out there and thinking about this long and hard myself, I've come to the realization that I really can't help Germany all that much by sending a few divisions that way and then taking the brunt of the attack from Russia on this side. So I've decided on a couple of things. Excuse me. One of those is that I'll continue to protect my coast from the possibility of an invasion by the UK or anybody else. And I know that eventually my Navy is not going to be able to stop him. He's going to finally figure out that I've been able to stop these smaller invasion forces, and he's going to send a force that I can't stop, and he's probably going to blow out of the water what's left of my Navy, and I have to accept that. So I'm going to have at least enough troops along this border that I can stop any naval invasion, or at least slow it down until I can get more troops there. Second thing is, I'm going to take my forces off of the Western Front, shift them to the east, and the goal for me in this war is going to be do enough damage to Russia that they are effectively out of the war and not really able to do anything to help the West. And then once I can kind of get far enough over here, entrench and hold the line, then I can start to help Germany in the West. I also want to get Romania in the war. That's something I'm working on right now. Once this is done, another 31 days, about a month or so, once Romania is into the war, then I can look at launching an offensive against the Russians. So far, I haven't really lost anybody in this war. I lost a few in the war against Belgium, which is now, or Serbia, which is now over. But I'm going to go ahead and take this Balkan command, and I'm going to add those to the Russian front. That'll give them 116 divisions now. And then I'm actually going to take a few of them and add them to the garrison down there. Not all of them, but a few. And I'll need a better general then. Okay. So that gives me 113 divisions that are going to be heading to the east. And I'll have to reissue their orders. And we're going to go as far as St. Petersburg if we can. Get the Crimea, and so Petrograd, that's St. Petersburg, that's their capital at that time. And then here, of course, you have Moscow. Okay, we'll go ahead and unpause, and we'll start seeing what's happening here. I am completely out of manpower, which is a real problem. I can't honestly believe the world tension's only 23% with this war going on. But it's going to have to get higher before I can make any more changes to my manpower, so that's a little disappointing. But you can see here I have limited conscription, and in order to go to another level of conscription I need world tension at 40%. Alright, Japan is now justifying against us. Awesome, that's what we need, is another country on their side. I really need to get Romania in, I need to get Italy in on our side, so after this current focus of Romania, I'm going to switch and start focus on trying to get the Triple Alliance going again. Something I probably should have done sooner if I would have known that things were going to happen the way that they did. So Germany's lost, wow, their casualties are going up fast. They're up to 33,000 now. And it looks like since I pulled my troops off the border, things are not going so well over there. So once my divisions are in position, wow, it looks like Germany's maybe should shift some of those divisions over to the west. They've got 147 divisions on the Russian front now. But basically, I'm in a situation now where if I start taking casualties, I can't replace them because I have no ability. Out there, just as I suspected, he just sent a huge fleet, 45 cruisers, 14 battle cruisers, Yeah, so he probably just wiped out my navy. And I expected that would probably happen. So now I've got to defend against an invasion. It's the only chance I have of stopping him because my navy's toast. And there's the invasion. Okay. So far, so good. We're shutting it down pretty good. I just got to keep an eye out on these. As long as they're showing green and those numbers are low, and those numbers are green and go up, is what I want. That'll be good news. That means I'm winning that battle against their invasion. I'm very concerned about the fact that it looks like I still have a fleet. I'm kind of surprised that I can't get manpower. That's really frustrating to me right now. I need more men. I need to be able to replace my losses. I need to be able to max out all of these forces, because the more he hits me, the more attrition I have, the worse it's going to get. Working on some coastal forts that'll help the defense here, since I don't have a navy really to defend anymore. I need these coastal forts. Basically, I have an Adriatic wall, kind of like the Atlantic wall that they boasted of for Hitler during World War II. I need my Adriatic wall. That's the only place I've got a spot where he can invade me. Other than that, it's just Russia. Unless he ends up getting the Ottomans on his side, which I really hope doesn't happen. Yeah, see, I had a feeling his navy was going to overwhelm me eventually. Okay. So we got the call Romania to war national focus. Now we need to focus on the Triple Alliance. What do we got going on here? I know I have low manpower. There's nothing new there. Alright, I've now lost 117 men. Germany's lost 86,000 already. And as I'm looking at the losses for the other countries, none of them are even close to that. So maybe Germany needs to chill on the offensive right now. I'd really like to start launching my offensive against the Russians, but we're not in position to do that yet. Alright, Romania. What's going on here? Alright, another naval invasion. Another failed naval invasion for the Brits. And another costly sea battle for me. Alright, we're going to offer military access to the Romanians. Not that they necessarily need it, but we'll also grant it. Or we'll also request it so that I can kind of spread out my forces a little bit too. It looks like that's what Germany's doing. Germany's moving some troops down there now. Alright, we got another division in the field, so that's nice. I'm going to actually put them with the defense down here. I got to make sure that the Brits can't open a second front on me. Alright, we're getting closer to being able to launch this attack on the Russians. Let's do it. We're attacking on all fronts. The more green, the better. Not looking so good up here at the moment. I really wish I had the ability to replenish the troops that I'm about to lose. Let's take a look at how casualties are going. Wow, Germany's lost 143,000 men and climbing. And the Allies don't even appear to have lost more than maybe 30,000. Jeez. Germany, this is not working out well for you. Come on, Allies. Help me out here. Try something different. Just not working so far here, guys. Yeah, I'm missing equipment production, but I have like no manpower to be able to do anything right now. Once I can push this bulge out, it'll get a little easier because I won't have such a long front. It'll shorten it way out right here. Are the Romanians even helping me? It doesn't appear that they are. Alright, we got some trade issues here. We need steel. What's left in my navy? I still got maybe 30 ships left. Still having trade issues with what now? Oh, now we need wood again. I would feel so much better about this if I had the ability to get some manpower to replenish the losses that I'm suffering right now. So we're holding off his attack here with just one division, basically, because we've got him spread out so much. Yeah, I know I have very low manpower. Some of these attacks are not going well at all. Let's see what the casualties are up to. Wow, Germany, my goodness. I've lost 52,000 now. He's lost 267,000. The Russians are starting to take some losses, but they can afford them. The Russians have, I mean, they don't run out of Russians. There's definitely not going to be a manpower issue with them. Alright, France has called the Empire of Japan into the war. My goodness. I wish we'd call Romania into this war. We've got military access, but they're not actually fighting yet. Alright, we're one step closer on renewing the Triple Alliance. We gotta get Italy in on this thing. I need their help desperately. That'll open up another front with France. Now, I know historically Italy actually eventually jumped in on the side of the Triple Entente, so they would have been my enemy historically. We're starting to break through in a couple spots here. Another invasion happening. Again, not too concerned. Every time he's attempted it so far, we've thrown it back, but eventually I'm going to run out of men down there, and that's going to become a real problem. Alright, my casualties are up to almost 70,000. Nobody on their side has taken even close to that. Just the Russians, but they're the one country that can afford to lose that many men. I'm only gaining what? I gained 75,000 in civilian population and growth every month. That doesn't help me with my military growth. Oh man, I desperately need to be able to get some more people. I can't even think of anybody else we can get in on our side right now. Another invasion happening. Again, not a concern. When I start seeing that it's going to start shifting more in his favor and he's going to have an opportunity there, I'm going to have to move some units down off the Russian front to help secure this. At some point, he's going to figure out that he needs to hit me a lot harder. Man, if I could just replace the manpower I'm losing, I could keep pushing this forward. So let's take a look here, see if there's anything else I can do. So once we renew the Triple Alliance, or do the renew Triple Alliance, then we can go secure Italian loyalty. We're 2 steps away yet from being able to call Italy to war. So that's going to take a little while. That's something I probably should have invested in sooner. And then I could have been fortifying the Russian border, building airports near the Russian borders. I could have better prepared for this war. But like I said, I didn't expect I was going to end up in this war, because I thought going democratic was going to keep me out of it. And it turned out it didn't matter. My country declared war on Serbia anyway, and the whole thing just fell apart after that, just as it did historically. Until I can get some manpower, I really have no hope in this thing. I've lost almost 100,000 now. Germany's lost 400,000. Production doesn't even really matter for me because I don't have the manpower to support it. Everything's being held up by manpower right now. Wow, things are not going well along this border at all. And another land invasion, or sea invasion. Another one I'll turn back. It's really the only place I'm having success right now. You look at these places where I'm winning. I've got 3-1 and 4-1 odds in those places. Alright, what do we got going on here? Oh no, I thought that was on my menu. Okay. National focus, securing Italian loyalty. I don't know what strengthening ties with Germany is going to do for me. So Italy gains a German-Austrian alliance focus. They gain diplomatic relations changed. The Italians are, to say the least, not exactly on the friendliest terms with us. We should start negotiations with them in order to establish more amicable relations if we hope to keep them in our alliance. Of course, if we go through with this, we'll probably end up losing territory. Small price to pay right now, I would say. The world tension is just not going as high as I would like it to. I'm guessing we can't do a separate peace with some of these countries. No. Hey, Germany, 500,000 casualties. Really? Is that working out for you? Maybe stop attacking the Western Front right now. Russians have lost 100,000. So there's a single country on the other side that has lost as many as either of our countries have. We're pushing through slowly in a few places. I'm thinking maybe a change in strategy is needed here. So let's do this. Let's just, for now, deal with this bulge in the line and get it straightened out. Focus on that. Probably should have done that to begin with. Shrink down the number of places where I'm pushing, although the places I'm having success are the places that are outside of that. Maybe the best thing I can do is if there was a way I could break through somewhere and try to encircle these guys. Let's try to be a little more cautious with our approach. How's that? Another land invasion, or sea invasion. Maybe not. I'm not feeling optimistic about this war at the moment, folks. There's just too many problems. The number of casualties the Germans are losing, the lack of manpower on my side, the time it's going to take to get Romania and Italy to start kicking in and helping out. They really use getting the Ottomans in here too. I don't know what the Germans are working on right now with their national focus. Oh, they are befriending the Ottomans. Excellent. We definitely need the Ottomans in on this thing. Open up another front. Even though they're not very strong and they'll probably collapse pretty quickly. See what the situation looks like now. This is just an ugly war, just like it was in real life. 600,000 for the Germans, 124,000 for me. My goodness gracious. Some of these countries haven't even gotten involved yet. Like, look at India. This is India here, British Raj. They've got somewhere between 170 and 300 divisions that they can put into the field, and they haven't lost a man yet. So if the Ottomans open up, that's probably where you're going to see the Indians get involved, would be over here against the Ottomans. But we definitely need some help. Things are moving along pretty slowly now. Now that there's war, everything goes slower, so it takes a while for things to happen. This war's a complete stalemate right now, just as it was historically. After those first couple of months, pretty much when they settled into their trenches, very little changed over the next couple of years, except for the death toll kept climbing. Let's just keep pushing forward here. Try to straighten out this line. I wonder how many men I need to just even replenish my units at this point. Yeah, I'm about 130,000 short on manpower just to get people back in to full strength. What a mess. Can I get these units into the field is my question. I guess there's not really anybody that is strong enough to be able to get them into the field. The Ottoman Empire has joined the Central Powers. There's at least a little bit of good news. Now let's see how that helps us out. Germany and the Ottoman Empire have had a vaguely close relationship since the end of the Napoleonic Wars, but in recent times it seems their bond has become unbreakable. The Ottoman Empire has formally joined the Central Powers. Alright, now here's what's probably going to happen. We're going to probably instantly watch the Ottoman Empire cease to exist as a country. They're just going to get swallowed up by the Brits, who have troops down there already, but at least maybe the Ottomans can start threatening the Russians over here and cause them to pull some units off of this front and maybe relieve the pressure a little bit for me. But we'll see. Alright, we'll go ahead and let this go a little bit longer and then wrap this up. Unfortunately, not a lot has happened. It's just been one big stalemate and just a whole lot of loss of life, especially on my side. Germans and Austrians combined, we're getting ready to push toward 1 million casualties already. Nobody else even close on the Allied side. They're maybe at not even 250,000 yet. Got lots of army experience, but doesn't do me any good when I don't have any manpower. Throwing back another invasion, not a problem there. Alright, things are starting to look a little better on the Russian front now. What's this here? Oh, their organization's too low to advance. That's fine. What's going on with the Ottomans here? Anything so far? They don't appear to have a whole lot in terms of divisions in the field. I'd very much like it if they'd start focusing on the Russians a little bit. Maybe relieve the pressure on me. But like I said, things are starting to look a little better on the Russian front as far as the success that I'm having. I think another couple of months and we'll probably at least get this part of the line straightened out. Maybe by then we get the Italians in on this thing. Still slow going. We're still a month and a half away from securing Italian loyalty. And then we have to give up some territory to the Italians, and then we can call the Italians to war. I'm still not sure why it is that the Romanians have not actually participated in this thing so far. Because I thought that calling Romania to war would actually call them to the war, but it doesn't appear they're actually in the war. Alright, so let's go ahead and watch this play out just a little bit longer here. We'll go to the end of April. And then just kind of assess the mess that is this situation. I mean, I have overwhelming odds as far as the number of divisions in some of these places. I don't know why I'm attacking with 4 divisions against 10. Looks like the Ottomans have sent a few up into Austria. Alright, so now the Ottomans got about 45 divisions on the Russian border there, so hopefully that'll turn into something if they actually attack. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up right here. Pretty slow going, but that's World War I. That's the Great War. It was slow moving. There was not a lot that changed very rapidly. And I feel like it's going to be that way for a while until I can get world tension to the place where I can increase my manpower or find some other way to do that, maybe through research. So I'll have to take a long, hard look at what I can do, and we'll come back tomorrow with another episode. In the meantime, as always, I welcome your input, your suggestions, your ideas, anything at all to help me turn the tide in this thing. Thanks for watching.